The Fantastic Four First Steps is set to hit theaters on July 25th. Hi, welcome back to the channel. Now we're going to go through some early reactions. That's right, people, members of the film press got to see an early screening. So we'll see what they say, and we'll go go through some reactions from people from X, and we'll just have a good time. All right, so first up, let's start with Matt Negia wrote on X saying that Marvel Tenpult lives up to its namesake of fantastic, hailing the film's excellent leading quartet and delightful retro futuristic aesthetic. Yeah, if you didn't know, this film's going to be set in the 1960s, a very futuristic looking 1960s, and that's a good backdrop for those, old school comic book fans will know the lore, the ideas. This quartet, the core group of Sue Storm, Johnny Blaze, Ben Grimm, The Thing, and Reed Richards. It's gonna be a good time. Let's see. This is coming from entertainment journalist Brandon Davis. Also took to X to share his thoughts. He wrote that Fantastic Four was one of the best Marvel has ever done. And compared to visuals to those of Christopher Nolan's Interstellar. Wow. If you think back to the movie Interstellar by Christopher Nolan, that was amazing. It's a visual treat there. And if this film is going to have space scenes taking place in outer space, then we're in for a real good time. Galactus is awesome. Silver Surfer looks really good. VFX were often immaculate, Davis wrote. Cosmically and on Earth. Matt Shakeman dropped a visual feast. Okay, so visually, it's a thumbs up. All right. Variety exclusively reported that John Malkovich was originally set to appear in First Steps as Red Ghost, but was cut out of the film. Shakeman said it was heartbreaking not to include him in the final version of the movie. Yeah, chances are, if this movie comes out in physical media, in the months to come, that might be included in the features. John Malkovich, good actor. Let's see, all right, Andrew J. Salazar wrote, Fantastic Four is a story about family above all else, where each member of the team is equally important. No one is underserved. The movie excels when fleshing out the various bonds between Pedro, Vanessa, Iban, and Joseph. The retro 60s aesthetic works on all fronts. Okay, what has me a little bit on edge, well, I wouldn't say on edge, is the humor. I've never been into the humor that Marvel likes to throw out in the movies, and I think this one's going to have some humor. Joseph Quinn, I really like him as an actor. He's really growing on me. Iban is a guy who was in the Bear show. Terrific in that one, right, in that series. This comes from Dio, who wrote, Fantastic Four is a masterpiece. The visual effects and the score are a huge standout. Galactus is huge in IMAX. It's emotional and gives you hope. It beats you off and doesn't stop. Stay until the end credits. Yeah, the end credits scene in this one I think is going to be a doozy. If you went to see Marvel's Thunderbolts, there is a end credit scene that is connected to this upcoming Fantastic Four movie. And so I hope I hope Fantastic Four expands on that whole scene. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be an exciting time. Let's see. Let's go on. One more. Chris Killian wrote, Fantastic Four friggin' rocks. More than any Marvel movie before it. F4 feels like Jack Kirby's imagination brought to life on the big screen. Between this and Superman, 2025 might go down as a year movies finally embrace the wonderful weirdness of comic books. Yeah, that's the thing about movies, comic book movies these days. They aren't focused on the comic book lore. A lot of these movies, DC, DCEU, Marvel, so focused on action sequences and, dramatic moments, which is okay, which is fine at times, but you're forgetting a lot of the material that the comic books have. And a lot of those movies forget that. On X, one fan called it, quite possibly the best Marvel Studios film ever released, absolutely loaded with talent and standout performances from Vanessa Kirby and Joseph Quinn. If you thought the MCU died with Endgame, think again. Thoughtfully crafted and easily a genre-defining classic. So, again, what I've noticed about early reactions is that they're mostly positive. A lot of people will chime in and give it a thumbs up. It's visually a masterpiece. It's visually stunning. But, give it a couple weeks and people will throw in their, the Joe Schmo off the streets will throw in their, point of view and say, it was okay. Not for me, which is expected. We'll often get mixed reviews. We'll get really bad reviews, and that's cool. That's what we want out of people. Upland says Fantastic Four is a triumph, a pitch perfect script backed by great performances, particularly from Pedro Pascal, turns what could be a simple superhero movie into a sharp commentary on our society that makes it nuanced, palatable for those that may not take it at face value. So there's been a lot of criticism, over this past year about Marvel and if they've lost their stride. To me, it sounds like this is a step in the right direction. I think if you didn't know this Fantastic Four film went through a lot of rewrites just to find the perfect script. So I guess the real embargo drops on Monday, this coming Monday, which is also the day people are expected to see it. You can expect more reviews to come out in the next few days. These are just brief, instant reactions from people on social media. Give this video a thumbs up. Are you guys planning on seeing Fantastic Four First Steps on day one? Then let me know in those comments below. Dark Room Reviews is the place to be for movie news, movie reviews, physical media showcases, and more. Let me know in those comments below, guys. Stay tuned for more content very soon, guys. Take care. Folks, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It really helps out in the long run. Dark Room Reviews, it's the place you should be subscribed to. Join the channel. It's free.